Yo, every Wednesday night, you better tune in tight. At 7 p.m. CST, we bring in that insight. Halas Hall Report, best podcast in the game. Stats and facts, you'll remember the name. Host Ken Dub got the knowledge on lock. Co-host Woody the Bear fan, talking all that talk. 3 Bear fans chilling, opinions on the side. We're here for the love, riding that Bear pride. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the skies. Lions think they're fierce with Dan Campbell's call, but all that greed ain't gonna help them at all. Same old story, we know how it goes. They just can't compete, everybody knows. Minnesota Vikings always talking smack, but when it's game day, they ain't got the knack. Sitting on the couch while we're making a stand. Over here in Chi-Town, we're the best in the land. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the sky. Packer fans yell blow pack blow, but can't see the truth. We're stealing the show. Rivalry heated, but we stay real cool. Halas Hall Report, yeah, that's the rule. With every episode, we build that hype. Stats and team news, we got the right type. Fan base strong, we ain't looking back. 2025, it's a winning attack. So gather round fans, put your hands in the air. Every Wednesday night, we're breathing that bear. Join the revolution, watch the magic unfold. Halas Hall Report, we're breaking the mold. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the sky. So mark your calendars, don't miss a beat. Every Wednesday night, Halas Hall can't be beat. Stats, facts, team news on deck. Halas Hall Report, what did you expect? 2025, the Bears are here to stay. Blue and orange in the north, leading the way.
And good morning, and welcome to another edition of Halas Hall Report. It's a strange Sunday, like the third one we've done like this, Woody and Mike. No football for the Bears today.
What to do? Oh, Call of Duty. That's what to do.
Good morning, Fred. No Lions game to watch today. No Packers game to watch today. The only NFC North team in action today is the Minnesota Vikings.
The last place Minnesota Vikings.
So, interesting thing I thought about Saturday night or Friday night, actually.
Oh boy.
Last year, the Lions and the Vikings were the top 2 teams in the division, respectively. This year, they're the bottom 2 teams in the division. It's funny how the division has flipped.
I know, but I am better. So
so we played Friday in a game that no one said we had a chance. Even you, Woody, were like, dude, no, we're not beating the Eagles in Philly. Yet we just beat the Eagles in Philly. And here's the thing about that game. It wasn't one of those, those games where you're like, okay, yeah, we're doing good. Oh, man, we're going to give it up. Oh, man, we're doing good. Oh, man, we suck. Oh, man, we're giving. No, we controlled that entire game.
On the ground?
Like, there were no lead changes in that game at all. None.
Could have been a tie, but a missed extra point.
Yeah, they could have tied it at one point, but missed extra point. Didn't help in there. Good morning, Cam, coming in from the Valley of the Sun. Good morning, Broski.
Broski, congratulations on Penn State getting into a bowl game. I don't know if it's going to be the shit bowl, but at least they got there.
So, we got, I mean, first off, Woody, 9-3. Did you see the Bears being 9-3 at this point?
Nope, not at all. I don't care who you are, Bears fan, diehard Bears fan, Bears coaches. Nobody expected Bears to be 9-3, 5-0 in this November. Yeah. And 4-0 against the NFC East. Nobody knew it. I don't care who you are, but here we are.
Yeah. Oh, and Packer fans are, well, you guys always bring up the '85 Bears. Well, guess what? I'm going to bring up the '85 Bears again, Woody.
Oh boy.
This weekend was the first time since Matt Suey and Walter Payton both had 100 yards in a game that the
Yep.
Bears had 2 rushers with 100 yards in the game.
Right.
So
And I want to clear something up with this Packers fans because I was hearing it. We both played 3 teams that are over 500. So I don't want to say that we never play or beat teams over 500. We did it 3 times. I don't want to hear it. No more. Done.
yeah, I'm just rooting for Shador today to beat the 49ers. Yeah, look at the Lions, man. They need help to get the playoffs, and that would help them if the Niners were to lose to
Yeah.
Shaduki.
Right.
They need help. They don't control their destiny. The Bears, we control our destiny. The Packers kind of control their destiny.
And
Um,
if Carolina somewhat beats the Rams today, guess who's number 1 seed in the NFC?
the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never thought of that, huh? I don't care. Nope.
Yeah, I don't. I
Nope.
mean, I don't much care about the seeds, as we learned last year. The seeds in the NFC didn't really matter much because
Yeah, no.
the one seed and the team with the second best record both were one and done.
Mhm.
But Woody, I feel like. Well, let me ask you this question: Would you, if the Bears were to lose the rest of the games this season, would you call this season a success?
Oh, yes and no. Yes, because we had 4 more wins than last year, and no, because it's the end of the year and this is the playoff time. This is when you want to get in. If we lose, what, 6 straight, 5
Five,
straight,
5, yeah.
it's if to most people, most Bears fans' eyes, is that this is a bad season if we lose the last 5 in a row and not getting in the playoffs.
What if we go 1-4 and we split with the Packers? So we win 10 games on the season, going 1-4 through the final 5.
It's it's double our improvement from last year. So I would think, yeah, it would be a success. It would suck that we wouldn't get in the playoffs. But with 10 wins, with the NFC though, it's tough. I would be happy, but then I wouldn't be. I'm never happy. So just plain and simple.
Mike, how about you?
I think no matter what we do, it's definitely a success. No one thought we would win 9-10 games this year, especially leading the division at this point in time.
So, I mean, I'm kind of like with both of you, and Cam, I'm kind of with you on this too. I think, like I said, I think we're playing with house money right now because, like Woody said, no one thought we'd be 9-3. I want us to, at minimum, split with the Packers. At minimum, win one of the Packer games. I'd like to win both. I like to win the last 5 games. But like, if let's say we ended up, with 10 wins, maybe we get in as a wild card. I'd be like, hey, complete success. Even if we're 10 wins and don't get in, still a complete success for year 1. And then next year, I expect more. Now look at if we do. I know there are Bears fans after the game Friday. It's being reported that there are Bear fans already talking Super Bowl. I mean, and you know what? I can understand that. I mean, I can understand why some fans are talking of Super Bowl. I mean, I get it. I get why they're saying it. I'm not going to say that right now, but I can understand why they're saying it.
Yeah, I don't think we're Super Bowl ready yet. It would be amazing if Ben Johnson can do this. I mean, I saw a stat the other day is Eberflus took 32 games to get to 9 wins. Ben Johnson is 12. So right off the bat, the coaching is a success for us. But Super Bowl, everybody loves to see it. Every fan would love to see their team go. But right now, I do not think we're Super Bowl ready. The defense is slowly coming on, but you need all aspects of the team to getting the Super Bowl and at least winning it.
What do you think, Mike?
I'm not going to talk Super Bowl yet. Not at all. But I mean, don't get me wrong. We just beat the Eagles. The NFC North had issues even competing with the Eagles, and, we beat the Eagles. The best team in football, I think, right now in the NFC is the Rams.
Yep.
They
Like,
look like a complete team, but
I
we're
don't
definitely going to be competing deep in the playoffs. I feel.
look. I don't disagree with either of you, but I mean, I'm not trying to talk Super Bowl right now either. And
Mm-mm.
Fred, well, Fred, you've heard me say this before, so you already know what I'm going to say. Um, poor Fred, though. He's like,
Jesus.
if the Bears win another Super Bowl before the Lions get their first, oh, but look, I understand why Bears fans are talking this because the whole season we've been told you're going to lose this game, you're going to lose this game, you're going to lose. You can't win. You can't beat the Eagles. You can't beat the Steelers. You can't beat this team. You can't beat that team. And every week they go out there and guess what they do? They beat that team. So for Bears fans, I can when people are saying, "Well, you're not Super Bowl ready. You're not a Super Bowl contender. You have no shot at the Super Bowl." Well, guess what? That's what you've been telling this Bears team all year about their season. At the beginning of this year, when we were doing all our little shows and we were talking about predictions and Packers, Lions, and Vikings, oh, we're laugh. Go, you guys think you're gonna get 8 wins? You're lucky if you're gonna get 4. Well, here we sit at 9-3. So I can understand why some Bears fans are saying, look, why not talk Super Bowl? You told us we weren't going to win more than 4 games this year. You told us against the Eagles we have no chance. We dominated the Eagles.
Including myself.
We almost had double the time possession. Like
Yep.
with
Yeah.
almost a minute more, we would have had it double what they had it. That's controlling the ball. Like you said, we had 2 runners rush for over 125. I got to give a lot of credit for 6 yards per carry to that offensive line.
Oh yeah, and so did the running backs both did too when they were freezing their ass off on set on the Amazon set there after the game. They were freezing, but they got those sandwiches. They were happy. But Brandon, look at Brandon here makes the comment that fuels this Super Bowl argument. They keep doubting us, and we keep proving them wrong. That is a mindset and mentality in Chicago right now. So I do not blame fans for talking about the Super Bowl or starting to have aspirations of a Super Bowl this season because of that. I can't fault him for that argument. It's not a bad argument. Now I'm not going to make that argument for myself, right? I think the Bears look at once you get in the playoffs, you're a legitimate shot at the Super Bowl. I've always said that. I don't care if you're a 7-9 win team back when the Giants won the Super Bowl as a 7-9 team, or I don't care if you're the number 1 seed in your conference. You get in the playoffs, you have a shot at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was impressed with the Manon guy. Holy shit, dude. I mean, well, they actually have a new name, like Thunder and Lightning. Now it's Slash and Bash. That's the
Okay,
new
I could go
nickname.
with that.
That's the new nickname for Swift and Manon guy. Listen, the strong point of the Eagles, yeah, Jalen Hurts was off. Something about him, he was off. AJ Brown with 2 touchdowns. You got to think the E-Girls defensive line was probably the best in the league. Jalen Carter. You got these great defensive line. 281 yards rushing is wow. The holes I've seen with the offensive line against the Eagles defensive line was just phenomenal. And hats off to Monangai. He had 74 yards after contact and Eagles are a great tackling team. Overall, they didn't show up, and I was happy.
That was the first time I actually got to look at old school football. Run game. We have not seen that much running between our backs, and I'm going to say a couple years for
First
sure.
time since 1985.
Both running backs with over 18 carries and at 6 yards per carry for both of them.
Here's the other thing, though, with that game, and I want to talk Caleb for a second because look, Caleb's numbers weren't great, but I'll say like probably half to 3/4 of his incompletions, I'm okay. I'm happy with. In fact, I'm ecstatic with because he was just throwing it away. He's like the play's not there. I'm not going to force it. The wind was a factor in the passing game for both Hurts and Caleb. And he didn't take the chance. He protected the football. He's like, there are a couple plays like he just threw it at the feet. Like he threw it at the feet. He's like, no, don't even try to catch this. I'm just putting it by your feet so I don't get flagged for intentional grounding kind of thing.
Right. And his completion ration's a little bit down because of that.
Oh.
And that's not a
And
bad
I'm fine
thing.
with that.
Yes.
And that's why you don't hear Ben Johnson going, well, yeah, we still need to work on Caleb and his passing completion because no, like almost half of his passes are throwaways at this point. I mean,
Plus that missed on Dunze was wide open in the end zone on that touchdown. He did
that was a
he
tough
shortchanged him and stuff like that. And I want to bring up Fred's comment here about that interception. Listen, that's the second time Caleb did it this year with the screen passes. You know, Max Crosby, he tipped it, intercepted it, and so did the Eagles. So I don't know if he just didn't see the guy or he doesn't know the other team's the uniform colors or what. I mean, Manon guy's a small guy. That's who the screen was supposed to go to, and guy just intercepted it.
It's an impressive defensive play when a lineman can do that, though. I mean, you don't see it often. And fortunately, it's happened to Caleb twice. I think he needs to put a little more arc, maybe a little more arc on those balls to get above. Maybe he thought he had enough and didn't realize how tall the dude was or what kind of vertical the guy had to get up and tip it to himself. But that was an impressive play. That was an impressive defensive play. It was impressive. I have to give him credit, the defense credit. Impressive defensive play there. But hey, let's talk about impressive defensive plays. I think part of what you saw with Jalen was the fact that Jalen Johnson was back, the fact that C.J. Gardner-Johnson was value added to this team, and that Nahshon Wright, dude, I'm telling you what, yesterday the Vikings fans were talking about we need cornerbacks. Well, you gave us Nahshon Wright for nothing. You let the kid walk, and he leads the league in takeaways right now. Or he's tied with his teammate for the lead for takeaways. That fumble, that theft, let's call it what it was, that theft of the ball from Jalen Hurts on the tush push, my God. And that was at the Bears' 10-yard line. And he just straight up said, give me the ball, Jalen. Thanks. Have a nice day.
And that's a great play too, Ken, that he didn't quit because it looked like Jalen Hurts didn't even make it on the rear push. So he came up around the side and stripped it from him and clear fumble. And that was the after that interception when Eagles just made it 10-9. The next series, that was the interception on the screen pass, and then the rear push. The Eagles could have took the lead right there.
And look, it goes to what I was saying earlier in the year. I know, like, Bear Down Mike is like, oh, we don't get sacks. Okay, fine. Sweat has 7.5 right now. Yesterday broke his streak of sacks games with a sack, but they made Jalen Hurts very uncomfortable. The D line. Like, they're not getting the sacks. I get it, but they're making them uncomfortable, which led to that interception, which led to some bad throws and some bad plays by the Eagles. You got to give the D line a little bit of credit for that because the D line, makes these guys a little bit uncomfortable. It doesn't really show up in the stat line as a hurry or a quarterback hit or those things, but it creates opportunities for guys to make interceptions, or for them to have to throw the ball away or do those other things. So I was actually, while the defense wasn't stellar, I thought it was improved against the Eagles to a degree.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, all around good defense. Byard's had another interception. Great. I mean, these interceptions aren't like Kirby Joseph's right to them. We got guys diving all over the place. I mean, Byard, where the fuck did he come from on that play? Was unbelievable on that interception. So these aren't easy interceptions. Yeah, they're ball hawking it. Yep.
I mean, and when you've got a front four that can create pressure enough to make the guy uncomfortable, and you've got good corners on coverage, you can do that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when Nahshon Wright goes back to being the bench guy versus the starter when Tyreek Stevenson comes back, because Tyreek and JJ are going to be your starters. What a great asset to have on this team. It's weird to think that he's not going to be the starter when Tyreek Stevenson comes back. And that, he needs a contract for next year too, as well as all our safeties. Because Brisker, all those guys, they need a contract. None of them are signed. Owens, who's been a little bit quiet lately.
Yeah.
But dude, the defense is looking better, and we get Edmonds and Edwards back because we're worth, you know, look at our top 4 linebackers are out. We're on linebackers 5 and 6. And they played pretty well this weekend again for 2 weeks, the second week in a row. This linebacking core that was put together with duct tape and bubble gum looked really good.
Yep. Depth. That's what the magic word is that Bears didn't have in years. Depth.
And we had to go sign the one guy off the street, right? The guy who's actually calling the plays was sitting on the couch 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, usually your backup's pretty decent, but like you said, we're on 4 and 5, and they're still playing like number 2s.
No, they're on 5 and 6, Mike.
No,
and the
I
one
know,
guy we literally had to
like
sign off the couch
2, like
3
a backup. I've been impressed.
Go ahead, Mike.
I said I've been impressed for sure because I thought we'd take a downfall, a little bit of a passing game in the middle, and here for the runners to get there, and our defensive line actually stepped up too to make them stop to get to that second level.
And E-Girls, they're probably the best team in the league on slant passes.
Yeah,
I didn't see one unless that it was that touchdown to AJ Brown to make it 24-15. AJ Brown, I mean, what do you say? They used him pretty good. That was a great catch against Deshaun Wright.
Yeah,
they underthrew him and he just came back and just grabbed it and that slant pass. So Barkley, 56 yards rushing, didn't really, do anything. And Hurts wasn't Hurts. He was off throwing behind receivers. That third down play to Devonta Smith there, I think they were at our 25-yard line. He totally threw it behind him, or that would have been first down, first and goal.
I think Fred's comment here is great. He's like, he's rewatched, they've been replaying this Bears game from Friday. Like NFL Network had it on replay, like on repeat. But I watched it twice, I hate to admit. But the second time I watched it with the Next Gen Stats, they did the Next Gen Stats cast. But yeah, you couldn't even tell they weren't the starters. That's how well they played. And the line, you got Fred, who's a Lions fan, saying he watched the games like, those aren't your starters? No, they're the one guy used to play for you, Fred. He was your team captain last year, one of your captains, and we signed him off the couch.
Amid.
That's crazy to think about the depth. And you know what's funny, Woody? Literally 2 weeks ago today, you and I sat here, and we said, what are we going to do with the Steelers with no linebackers? And 2 weeks later, those same two guys who, we were like, oh my God, what are we going to do with these two, with no linebackers and these guys that played, and they've played really well.
Yep. It's great to hear Pennsylvania being so silent. Pittsburgh 1 week, then Philadelphia the other, and my work as well. Oh my God, it was so great. All the complaining in the back, I hear it. I'm just smiling.
Even the low-key complaining, like I love the low-key complaining by like Packer fans and Lions fans and Vikings fans. What's with Ben Johnson taking off the shirt? That's just so weird. Okay, Democrats, because they have to go that route. But they're like, it's so weird. Well, I love Caleb's response when they asked him in the media after the game. They asked, why did Ben Johnson take his shirt off? And he kind of chuckles. He goes, well, Ben's a man of the people. Because the Wiener Circle said if Ben Johnson took a shirt off after a win, they'd give everyone a free hot dog. Now, they didn't say where he had to take the shirt off. They didn't say it had to be on the sideline or at the press conference. He did the locker room celebration. So now everyone in Chicago is going to get their free Vienna beef hot dog. He's a man of the people.
And hands off, girls. He's married. He has a nice physique.
Dude, he's
jacked.
Little
muscle. He's jacked, man. I'm like, holy shit.
How many head coaches do you see are jacked?
He could play linebacker if you want to, but they're doing pretty good, the backup. So
yeah, but a lot of people doubted him too, and he was just pumped up just as much as the players, and I love to see a coach like that.
You know what, Mike? It's funny. I agree with you, but you know what's funny about that? This is Ben Johnson on the sideline.
He's so serious during game.
Bears score a touchdown.
Yep, no emotion.
Bears score an interception. Bears get an interception. You're like, the dude has zero emotion on the side. And then
if
you
the
get
Bears
in the locker room, and it's like a volcano just erupts.
And if the Bears have to call a timeout because the clock is going down, he's like, "What the fuck?" And that's all you read in the clip.
Or like the one where they said, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, whoa, Ben.
Well, and bring up the no shirt now. I mean, he gave 2 game balls out, one to Deshaun Wright and the other one to the offensive line, because again, the holes that they were making for these 2 running backs was holy shit. Like sometimes they wouldn't get hit until the third section there in the defense, like the DBs. It was an all around amazing game. Offensive line is there, and I'm glad.
So Fred brings up, he goes, Ben's not DC or Vrabel. Okay, he's not Dan Campbell or Vrabel is what he's saying. I think he's better than Dan Campbell, because Dan Campbell, while I think Dan Campbell's a great motivator, a great tone setter, a great culture setter, he can't call plays and he can't make plays.
He's got to give that up. And Vrabel, I mean,
he's talking about being jacked. Okay, he's talking about being jacked.
Oh, well, okay. I didn't get to take a look at their body yet, but speaking of Vrabel, and I just saw a nice stat this morning as well, is that the Patriots are 10-2, but they played easier teams than we did to be that 10-2. Because I don't want to hear no Patriots fan saying that we're frauds or whatever. Just look at your schedule.
That was interesting. Little Joe Tooney factoid
there. We got slides today, even though it's snowfall. Nice.
I know. I don't have to do it. Mike with this thing back there. It's like, great. Even with having to shovel the snow out of his driveway from the plow.
Oh man, it wasn't high though. That's all that matters.
Here's the question.
I'll send you a pic later, Woody.
I know you. I got. What you mean the snow? I hope not. Your jack.
The snow. Yeah, the snow.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
We're getting to that point of the year. People are going to start talking about awards. Where does Ben Johnson fall in the Coach of the Year category?
Between him and Vrabel, I think Ben turned it totally around. As they say, last to first. I say Ben Johnson's in the lead right now. If it ended today over Vrabel, that's me. Not because it's my team. Just like Ben just turned his team totally around, and a playoff team.
Right, and not just that, but we've never had an offense to this potential before, ever, being a Bear fan in my life, anyways.
No, that's partially true, Mike. Because I wouldn't expect you to remember this because you were but a
He's young. He's young.
Yeah, in the 1970s, that was the last time. Like 1977 was the last time. I was like 5 years old. So yeah, that was the last time we were rated this high.
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't even born.
Oh, you weren't even born yet. Okay,
you're young.
You're younger than I gave you credit for.
He's probably jacked after living that snow pile.
Vrabel might get it because they beat the Bills. If you look at that, they're going to look at who they play. They're like, well, they beat the Bills and they beat these guys, and the Bears beat these guys and those guys. I mean, he's got to be in the conversation for Coach of the Year.
Oh yeah.
And what's amazing is you have 2 new coaches for their teams. One's an actual true rookie coach. The other, obviously, Vrabel had success in Tennessee initially when he got there. But you got 2 franchises who went out and got the head coaches they wanted. Because it was no doubt Vrabel was going. The only reason they fired their coach was to hire Vrabel. And look what both these franchises are doing. Wouldn't it be interesting if now, 40 years after Super Bowl 20, this is where those Bears fans were talking Super Bowl come in, but wouldn't it be something if the 40th anniversary of Super Bowl 20, if the Bears and the Patriots reunited in a Super Bowl?
Wow.
With the backstories of both these franchises from last year to this year and everything else. NFL marketing wet dream.
Jim McMahon versus Craig Rogan. Oh, Mike doesn't remember that. That's why he's young. Oh, yeah.
Interesting, though. It's interesting. Now, the Frank. Yeah, so Lions fans. Yeah, I don't know why you brought that up, Fred. I was going to bring it up, but as soon as you did, thank you. It's funny because, after the game, and it was announced, Frank Ragnow is coming back, and Lions said, oh, look, the season is saved. Ragnow is coming back to play center. he failed his physical. So
Is that what he did?
Yep. 12 inches. Yeah. Team effort.
Yeah, those first 2 games were pretty rough for the Bears. There's the shirtless picture. There we go.
Yeah, I want to know who just punched a hole in the ceiling tile there.
Yeah, I think it was DeAndre Swift. He handed him his hat, and DeAndre was looking at him. Whoever the player he handed the hat to, he's like, "Why are you handing me your hat, coach?" And I said, "Oh, the shirt's coming off."
So he got a grade 3 hamstring tear during the physical?
No, he has it.
Oh. Well, how do they test out a hamstring now? How do you know it's a grade 3?
Know. Why would they do scans? They probably did scans.
Oh.
Yeah, Mike, that's a good stat. Thank you for bringing that up, because a lot of people, we talk about Caleb, and when you look at the totality of what Caleb has done in his first 2 years, he is exceeding many, many very good quarterbacks that have played in this league, in so many stat categories. But I get why there's the hate on Caleb. On the same Brown show a couple weeks ago, Roma Dunze was on, and they're like, and Amron asked, Rome, like, why is the media on Caleb? And I'll quote him directly. Why are they on his dick? And Rome said, yeah, they're on his dick. And part of it is because of all the hype of when he got drafted. And the hype was so big that they just look for anything they can to tear him down. But he's like, the dude's like legit. And even St. Brown was like, the dude's like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Why are they on him like that? And when you throw stats like that up, it's funny because, well, he hasn't proved it yet. Dude's 9-3 this year. And I don't care what your completion percentage is. I don't care. Someone asked me, well, what if Caleb doesn't get 4,000 this year? I could care less about 4,000. Like, I care about the record at the end of the day. If let's say we win out, let's just go to that. Let's go to that argument. Let's say we win 14 games. We go 14-3 this year. I don't care if Caleb has 2,000 yards passing. As long as they won 14 games, I don't care how many yards he has passing.
Yep.
He's got a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, which is freaking phenomenal in this league.
What was great to see against the Eagles is there wasn't very many penalties from Chicago for once. They kind of cleaned that up.
Awesome. That's all I can say about that.
Wow.
That I thought the same thing, Mike. I was like, wow. Only you go to week 1 and week 2 and even week 3 with all the flags, and they got better each week. And even last week, they didn't have many flags against the Steelers. But you know what? In that Steelers game, they got the 15-yard taunting penalty DJ Moore got, and then they overcame it the very next play. That's another thing that's different about this team. Like early in the year, a 5-yard penalty was like same old Bears, drive is over. Now they've killed the penalties back down to next to none again, like it was before. Because Eberflus, he had them not get many penalties. I'll give him a little credit for that. They were okay with that under Eberflus too. But you expect a lot of penalties with new functions on offense and defense with new playbooks. But now, not only are they getting less penalties, Mike, they're overcoming them.
Right. No, definitely. And we've had longer drives too, We controlled the ball, we controlled the clock, and what was crazy is 85 plays. That's a lot of offensive plays in one game. 85.
And guess how many trick plays, Mike?
2?
No. 1. That double reverse was the only trick play they ran the entire game. Well, actually, no, it wasn't even a double reverse, right? Caleb looked like he was going to run to the left, and then he tossed it to Luther Burden.
Yep.
Yeah, so it wasn't even a double reverse. It was just a jet sweep. It was reverse jet sweep is what it was. That was the lone trick play that Ben called. So his bag of tricks is still sitting there.
And that was a dime to Cole Kmet. He was rolling to his opposite side as well, and looked like he threw across his body, but he didn't. and just led him perfectly in
Well,
the
that was
end
like
zone.
the Roma Dunze pass, like the Roma Dunze pass that just missed. I mean, it like literally 3 inches higher, and that was probably a touchdown. He was rolling
Yeah.
out of the pocket, had to go across body, fight the wind because that was the windier side of the stadium that they were playing on as far as throwing that direction. So I'm sure the wind tampered that ball down some, but dude, if he could have gotten a little more on that ball,
That would have been
that would have
touchdown.
been probably one of the throws of the year.
Yep.
But unfortunately, he didn't get there. Shutdown Hurts was impressive. Dude, the Bears did a great job of making him uncomfortable, and I get it. I get where like Bear Down Mike is like, we need edge, we need sacks. But look, Booker had some big plays. Sweat had some big plays. Did they get sacks? No, but they made some big tackles and they pressured him out and made Hurts feel uncomfortable all day. Gervin Dexter's starting to come on. One of our 2 penalties, the only time you really heard his name yesterday was Dexter Gervin was a penalty, but Dexter's been playing pretty good in the middle too. We're not getting the sack production. They're doing everything but it seems. And so I get why some Bears fans are frustrated by that. It seems like they're doing everything but sack the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Are you upset by that? Or are you just like, whatever?
Hey, as long as we're winning, it's a whatever to me.
What do you think, Mike?
I absolutely agree. As long as we're winning.
Yeah. I think, I hope that Friday's game we're not riding such a high that next Sunday's a letdown. And we're going to talk about the Packers next week. Obviously, normally we'd be talking about today's Bears game and we recap this game on Wednesday. So Wednesday we'll probably do some War Week. We'll probably get a double dose of Packers Bears War Week talk next week on Wednesday and Sunday. But I hope we're not, I don't think they are. I think Ben's got this team like the mentality, like they've already forgotten about Friday and they're already moving on to the next game. But I wouldn't blame them for spending an extra day relishing the Friday game because that was a big one.
Yeah, I thought they would. I would thought they'd look ahead, even though it's Black Friday, important game. It's holiday. I thought they would look ahead to the Green Bay game next week and blow this game, but no, not even a chance.
So I mean, what areas did you see in Friday's game that could use improvement? And before we say passing game, um, I think that's kind of an obvious thing, but I think this week we really saw the weather impact the passing game too. So I'm kind of on the fence on that. But what do you think, Woody?
Oh boy, from Friday's game.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we can X off definitely the running game, passing game because of the weather or the wind. I mean, Santos kicked it good with the wind, and Jake missed the extra point. Oh my God, I really don't know what to come back to me. I really don't remember. I really don't know.
What about you, Mike? What Friday's game gives you that? Oh, we still need to improve X.
I'm kind of with Woody. I can't really think of much because, man, they played well overall, special teams, defense, and offense. So it's kind of the offense, the line did well, defense did decent. Like, it's hard to pick that apart, especially when you just beat the defending champions.
And even with the touchdown that Nashawn Wright got beat on, like, he didn't play bad on that. He actually had good coverage on that play, and he tried, the ball was behind. Unfortunately, his momentum carried away from the ball, but you could see him trying to track and get to the ball. I mean, even that was not a bad play by Nashawn Wright. I mean, I thought the play calling, like, look, if they're going to let you run, why pass? I got that. Like, I was with, early in the game, they were, as they've been typically, it was 50-50, the play calling. I think at the end, by the time we got to the end of the game, it was probably almost 2/3 run, 1/3 pass. But I thought Ben used the pass appropriately. If they're going to let you, if you're going to have that much success running, he threw the ball just enough to keep that run game where it was, right? It was like the occasional. It wasn't like you didn't sit there and go, "Oh my god, why are we doing a pass play?" Like you were like, you weren't mad, even if it was incomplete. You're like, "Okay, I get why we did a pass play there." Like I even thought that was good.
Or maybe that play calling the last series when we're trying to milk the clock. They had a play call passing on that third down, even though we're up by 9. He wanted to pass and just close the game down and totally missed the receiver. Maybe if I had to blame, maybe his play calling.
Maybe
with
that play in particular.
the
Yeah.
the Nashawn Wright, like you said, I played quarterback 13 years, and I was always taught to throw when the defender's back is facing you. That's what Hurts did on that AJ Brown play with Nashawn Wright. It wasn't it was a short throw. Nashawn Wright didn't see it because his back was turned.
And even the announcers were like, Nashawn Wright will actually get better at that type of play. I'm like, 'cause he's a young cat. I'm like, wow. I mean, that actually said something. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. Um, I thought he played well. I mean, I understand. Yeah, I agree. I agree with maybe that one passing play. Maybe that was not the play to call. I don't know, Mike. What do you think?
His mic's stuck.
Yeah. Hey, we got coming in from Rumble, a lifelong Rams fan since the early '70s. Wow. Bear, yeah. You know what? Thank you, you ordinary old fart. I love the name, by the way.
Wow.
You know what though? He brings up a very good point, Woody, because the Bears won this game old school. Like, what do you do in December? You run. What do you do in the winter months? You run the ball. Good. Remember the old adage, like good football teams run the ball in December,
Yeah.
right? And that's what the Bears did. They ran it down your throat. And Vic Fangio, who says, "Go ahead, try to run on me," they said, "Hold my beer, Vic. We got you." And they ran on him.
Right.
I
And
mean,
I got to respect Ben Johnson and that offensive coaches too, because with the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line, they're trusting these running backs to get some yards and touchdowns, which they did. Not many teams run against this Eagle team.
not like that. No, no,
Uh-uh.
not. Yeah, it was in the first quarter. The Bears had tallied more rushing yards on the Eagles in the first quarter than they give up per game.
Was 142 yards or something like that in the
Something like
first
that,
quarter?
125, 142, somewhere
Yeah.
around there. I mean, so when you look at the remainder of our schedule, if the Bears can run like this, and by the way, coming into the game, we were the number 2 rushing team in the league for the season, number 1 in the season since week 3, which is crazy. Because Bears fans like, we need to run the ball more. Like, well, we
Beware what
kind
you
of
wish
are.
for.
Yeah. That bodes well for us. And speaking of the Rams, that's now you're starting to hear the questions: can the Bears beat the Rams? Yeah,
Yeah.
great point again. Your ordinary old fart. I love that name. Um, if look at, I'll say this: if I'm the Rams and I'm looking at maybe, um, if I'm looking at the Bears down as a potential team that have to play in the way they run the ball, I'd be scared if I were the Rams.
Yeah, the
I
Bears
mean,
ran
it'd
the
be a very
ball
good
well.
game.
What I was shocked about is the Philadelphia Eagles not bringing up a man in the box instead of a 2 safety move to a 1 safety. They kept with the 2 safety majority of the time.
But Mike, I think that's a problem with this Bears offense that this Bears offense presents to people. You can't do that because the second you do, it's
So
dump pass. Every time teams do it, they dump pass it, and their dump passes have been going out to the running backs right now. But eventually, those dump passes are going to go. They're going to go to Komet. They're going to go to Colston in the middle, or they're going to go to Luther Bird in the third. I mean, this offense presents problems in coverage if you do load up the box.
And even DJ Moore had a 10-yard run. That was his only run of the day.
Yeah, It's this Bears team is and I believe when Ben Johnson says we're not even playing our best football yet, I believe him.
And it's amazing. Dorn still doesn't give us any type of credit. The
Yeah.
worst 9-3 team in the
In
North.
history.
Yeah.
I mean,
How-
dude,
how
John Dorn
many-
is. What defense have you faced? We just faced the defense that you put up 10 points against in your home stadium, and we did
And
it
how-
at their place.
And how many yards did Josh Jacobs have against the Eagles? Anybody want to look that up?
I'm not going to waste my
Was he
time.
hurt that game?
Okay, so I guess both of our running backs had more rushing yards than Josh Jacobs did against the
Yeah.
Eagles. Is
Yeah.
that a good argument, or can I shut up now? Oh, okay, I'll shut up. Thanks.
Yeah, that's a good argument there, Woody. Yeah, Olfar, I think like if you got a Bears Rams playoff game, oh, that's gonna be a good game. Good game. Oh, here we go. We're gonna, Dorn, you're a few days early. We're gonna start War Week on this show on Wednesday.
John's in the
night,
tree. John's in the tree stand.
waiting for respect
luck,
from
bud.
John Dorn is
wa-
like wanting real love from a stripper.
As long as he gives me some bear jerky or deer jerky, that's all I care about.
Yeah, he's got a couple. He's got a few deer already this year. I asked him
Well,
last night
I'll
about
give
the
him-
deer jerky.
I'll give him my address. Send him down.
Yeah, me too.
Vacuum seal it first, please.
Yeah, I mean that's I think that I don't want to look way forward to a possible Bears Rams playoff. However, their scheme is pretty. I mean, look at the Rams are number one seed coming in today. And if they lose today, the Bears take it. I get it, but they've been the number one seed for most of the season. Their scheme is really good. Their offense, they're doing good on both sides of the ball. They really are. Coming into this game, the Eagles weren't turning the ball over. They were the number one team in the NFL in not turning the ball over, and their defense was murdering people. Both those things stopped on Friday. Their defense got run over by a Mack truck.
Mhm.
And then they put the truck in reverse, ran him over again, then went back forward and ran him over again. Said, no, they're not quite dead yet. Threw it in reverse, parked on them, and then went in for the touchdown.
It's not a Khalil Mack truck. Just wanted to clarify that.
Little Mack truck. And then Bears defensively, kept that. I get Philly. The people they scored 3 touchdowns early against the Cowboys, and then what's happened? People got the book on Hurts. They're figuring it out. And the Bears did. No, Mike, I did. I'll talk to you about it after show. They just shut them down appropriately. And here we get. I don't want to see the Bears in the playoffs. And remember, thank you for that validation because I said that at the beginning of the year. We weren't on Rumble yet, so you probably hadn't seen the show. At the beginning of the year, I said, look, if this Bears team is what Ben Johnson says it's going to be, and they get in the playoffs, this is going to be a team you don't want to face at the end of the year in the playoffs. And that is coming to fruition. This team is getting better every week. Even Dennis Allen, now he's getting guys back. His play calling is getting much better on defense too. You didn't see the Tampa 2 zone, sit back, prevent stuff. He was getting after it.
What scares me overall is it's usually past, I don't know, 10, 15 years or seasons, is that's usually the hottest team going into the playoffs that makes a splash. Well, we're hot now. Hopefully we continue that to go into the playoffs. I don't want us to die off and then get in the playoffs and get wiped off. It's usually the hottest team going in that makes a splash though.
Well, Fart makes a good comment. The Rams do it too. A lot of motion in this offense. And, we weren't seeing that, Fart, at the beginning of the year as the Bears were learning this playbook. And now we're starting to see it. We are starting to see they run motion at about 2/3 of the plays they run have motion in it now. So the offense is definitely growing. And you know what? Caleb is handling it just fine. You know what I like about Caleb too, and this is a small thing that many people don't realize. And it was a quick blip um, on on the on the news cycle. But Ben told Caleb, "You can't wear the wristband anymore." You notice that Caleb doesn't have the wristband like all these other quarterbacks with all the plays, right? The little you see always flopping around on guys. He
Yeah, no
doesn't
shit.
wear it. He does not wear the play wristband at all. Going back to what old Fart said about the Eagles being overrated and lack of chemistry, I agree that they're going backwards a little bit. I think there's dysfunctionality in that team somewhere. That's another team. Like if the Cowgirls get in with them getting hot right now with big wins over Philly, Kansas City, they have a good game, which is a must win for both them and Detroit. Um, oh my God, they could be scary if they get in. And thank you, Afar, for following on Rumble. I'll throw you a follow back as well. Um, uh, the Cowgirls, man, if they get in, Woody, they could be like, and we will get a rematch. It ain't gonna be like when we saw them in week 3.
No, not when I was there. They added two. They added Q, added a linebacker. CD Lamb, we did knock him out of the game week 3. Pickens, was doing okay. Javonte Williams was running okay. But yeah, it won't be a 31 or 34-17 game like it was in week 3. That was total domination.
I don't think all the drama in Philly revolves around AJ Brown. I think that's a convenient excuse. I think it's different than AJ Brown. I think and AJ Brown's like what stud receiver doesn't say give me the rock? You know what I mean? I think there's more going on there. Oh, Komet, dude, look at I'm happy, man. I love this guy. Komet, there's no way the Bears let him go in the offseason or cut him for the cap. His blocking and Loveland too. Both these guys are doing a fantastic job with blocking and being threats in the receiving game. Like I think for Komet, that's something that he's really improved on since his rookie year because the Bears just for whatever reason haven't thrown to their tight end since Greg Olson. He has become a really good blocker.
So,
and God, this is valuable.
Ken, we were talking in the beginning of the year, me, you, and Broski about the who's going to be on this team who has to reconstruct their contract. Do you still feel that same way? Like, who do you feel right now is not worth their value on this team next year that hurts with the salary cap? Do we have the same? Because I said Tremaine Edmonds, we both thought that, but he's playing great. He's leading all linebackers, top 5 in interceptions.
I think if we get into a cash bind, I think Komet's last year of his contract. It's Edwards, right?
Yeah, Edmonds.
Edmonds is going to be the last year of his contract. I think both guys get a restructure / extension to free up cap space. Because look, you've got to sign your safety room. Now you've got a corner that you have to re-sign to, who's not going to be under contract. We have 40 guys under contract. So you figure 7 draft picks, that's 47. You only got to re-sign 5 guys, which is, by the way, Nashawn Wright and your 4 safeties, and now you have a 3-man roster. So it's not going to take long for them to get there. And that's a great story. Wow, Komet, the mighty Met. I think Komet gets a extension with the restructure. I think Edwards does too, or Edmonds. I always confuse the two when we come to this. And you know what? I think Swift, you could do the same thing because he's gonna be the last year of his deal. You could get him an extension / restructure, but his restructure doesn't save much. But on the other ones, you could, and there's some other guys you can restructure or extend. So the Bears have a lot of cap flexibility coming into next year. And right now they're negative 1.2 mil, but then you figure, and here's the other one, you figure that most likely, what's his name, the edge that's injured now that we signed,
Deo.
Deo, you figure he starts on the inactive pup list and stays there the whole season, which means that we get cap relief of his 28 mil or 22 million or whatever it is. So I don't think the Bears have to cut any of them. I think all of them come back. Those 3 guys all come back.
Right.
Well, don't be surprised if there's a couple people that you didn't say that could take a pay cut. I don't know if they would extend their years in Chicago, but DJ Moore, he could give back a little money too because he's going to be over 20.
Well, he could, or they could just do a restructure and save up to 15 million on him by doing a restructure. And the way these restructures, I know, Mike, you hate this because all of a sudden they take $15 million that should have gone against the cap, and it magically disappears off the cap.
Yeah, you know how I feel about that. Money spent should be against the cap. There's always a loophole in that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the Bears have several guys who they can do stuff with where they're going to take money off the cap.
Well, we know JJ won't take a pay cut. We already know that.
Well, I mean, I don't even think if you've tried to restructure him, I think it would actually hurt your money next year if I remember looking at over the cap. But they could do some restructure / extensions. I think Kmet and Swift are guys you can give extensions and restructure and be justified. That would say give them each 2 more years with a restructure, right? Because you look like you're about to enter a window, and these guys are still performing at high enough levels where if they went somewhere else, they'd get a 3 or 4 year contract probably. So you could extend those guys and be comfortable. And when you got 40 guys on your active roster for next year already, and you're adding 7 draft picks possibly, that takes it to 47, and then you only need to add, and you got all 4 safeties need to be re-signed. Now you're at 51. And then you've got your cornerback, who's your backup, who's leading the league in takeaways. Now you're at 52. You got 1 guy left to sign in free agency, or that isn't signed for next year. You bring back, and you're set up fine. Oh, there we go.
Right.
Yeah, it's almost game time kickoff. Thank you for joining us today on Real Fart. It was good having you here. Hope to see you again. We're on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central and every Sunday at this time. So hope to see more of you. Enjoy your Rams game today. I'll be watching that.
And Bears are going to Super Bowl. I'm going to say it here. I mean, no, fucking stop, Bears fans. Please stop. I know this is probably the young folk think. Yeah, probably the young people didn't ever see a great record, a good season with the Bears. You probably weren't around in 2006 either. But give it time. Be patient, please. Don't get hyped up.
Oh, look at Fred's going with the Browns this morning. Ooh, that's going to be he needs the help. He needs the help. So yeah, for his sake. But if they lose to Dallas on Thursday, I am very happy. I am very happy with where we're sitting right now. But if you look forward to this team, going back to what you're saying, Woody, I think we've got enough flexibility in the cap that all these guys are going to stay. The guys that, especially these guys that Broski, I love you, brother. But all these guys, like, they're definitely not going to be here next year. I think they're definitely going to be here next year.
And speaking of Broski, we should have went to this fucking game Black Friday. Oh my God, dude!
But look at in their defense. This is what they thought would happen if they showed up in Bears gear.
Yeah, so, absolutely. I would have fucked them up, motherfuckers, man.
They're protecting their lives.
Yeah.
Wow. So great game.
I would have. I've been in Philly before. I almost fucked people up there before, but I'm very calm now. So just want to give that a heads up.
Today a red zone day, or are you watching any game in particular before we get out of here and start watching?
I'm going to go red zone. I'm going to keep my eye on that Carolina Rams game. It's too early yet, but if Carolina wins, Bears are number 1 seed. I don't remember the last time that happened. So pretty psyched about that. Or might be a Call of Duty today with Ken.
What do you think, Mike? We got a few seconds left. Is it a red zone day, or you got a game in particular?
No game in particular. Probably red zone.
I'm going to shovel snow.
Yeah, I'll be red zone.
Shovel for me.
Hey, thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Get ready for War Week. Starts Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central, right here in Halas Hall, as we get ready to face the Green Bay Pack Turds, who will also are on a mini bye like we are. So it should be a great game at Lambeau in the frozen tundra with cold weather. We'll see you guys Wednesday night. Enjoy football today, everyone. Bear down.
Bear down.